welcome you to Lexington, Kentucky for a Saturday night showdown in the Gainbridge Super League. Week 5 is underway, and tonight it's Lexington hosting Spokane Zephyr for the first time this season. Alongside former pro Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Bridget Howard. We've got a good one on tap for you tonight. Well, Lexington is one of 4 teams to remain undefeated on the year. They've only played 3 games, but with 1 win, 2 draws, a star-studded lineup. This is a promising group, to say the least, Ricky.
It starts with the offseason for Masaki Hemi doing a really good job at bringing talented players, but also creating an identity for this Lexington side. They can score goals in different ways, whether it is from set pieces, whether it is from combination play or individual brilliance. Masaki Hemi's done a good job at creating an identity, and this team is full of confidence here to start 2025.
Well, we know the offensive pieces that they have, but we've got to give some love to the defense, tied for the most shutouts in the league with 2.
What we've seen from Lexington, they're compact and they have the willingness not to lose their individual markers, especially within their compactness of their shape. Masaki Hemi starts with the identity to not concede goals, and that is given this side a foundation to go forward and to attack and score goals.
When you talk about scoring goals, leading the way for Lexington has been Catherine Berry, their first win of the season versus Brooklyn. What's thanks to her brace on the day?
Catherine Berry is a complete number 9 in the Gainbridge Super League. She has the ability to score every single type of goal in the book, whether it is getting on the end of crosses, but she's also very opportunistic as she stays high on that type line. She's a clinical finisher. She's composed in front of net. Service into her here at home will be crucial for Lexington.
Well, while Lexington has only played 3 games so far this year, Spokane is off and running, having played 5 already in the 2025 campaign. Last weekend, they defeated the reigning champs on their home turf and picked up their first win of the season.
For Josh McAllister and his side, the team is going to be full of confidence playing against this Tampa Bay Sun side and really getting a clean sheet, but also scoring 2 really good goals over the course of this season. They found the back of the net 6 times, so this Spokane side coming into Lexington is going to be full of confidence as well.
Well, Lena Solano has been an outstanding addition to this Spokane squad. She's currently tied for the league lead in goals and makes quite that 1-2 punch up top alongside Allie Cook.
Lena Solano can do a little bit of everything, whether it is dropping deeper and being part of the build-out phase, but she also has the movement to arrive into the attacking 18-yard box, and she is a ruthless finisher. She needs to be the best player on the field if Spokane wants to come on the road and steal all 3 points.
Well, it's Lexington and Spokane, the home side looking to extend this unbeaten streak and pick up a 2nd win at home, while Spokane, a long way from home, hoping to get on the board early against one of the best defenses in the league. Buckle up, lineups and kickoff coming up on the other side. You're watching the Gainbridge Super League on Peacock.
Who is Lexington Sporting Club? We are the professional soccer team in the heart of the Bluegrass. From our Youth Academy to the Women's Super League to the Men's USL Championship team, we're building the future. From every corner of Lexington, we are united under one crest. This is your team. This is your community. Together, we are creating our story and leaving our mark. This isn't just any club. It's a club to call your own. Get your tickets today at lexsporting.com/tickets.
Success isn't a game of chance. It's about making the right moves. Just like Lexington Sporting Club, Commonwealth Credit Union aims to win by helping you defend your goals and keeping your money on the attack. As the official credit union of Lexington Sporting Club, we're empowering success on the field and in your finances with smarter banking options and unbeatable service. Are you ready to take the lead? Then get the home field advantage for your finances, only with Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists. Gainbridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, great at assists. Gainbridge, great at assists for your savings.
Moments away from kickoff here at Lexington SC Stadium. Ricky Lopez-Espin, Bridget Howard with you. Before we get any further, let's see how both teams are lining up tonight. For Lexington, one change, Hannah Johnson returns to the back line after being out on a red card.
The team centrally is going to be the key. Ulmer, you're looking at McCain and Fung. How good can they be at dictating tempo, slowing the game down, and playing into that front line? Because that is when you have Griffiths, Barry, and Ekich, the ability to be really expansive and really aggressive to test the Spokane back line. The first 10 to 15 minutes will be crucial for Lexington to get in a rhythm.
Well, against Tampa Bay last weekend, Spokane switched to a 3-5-2 out of their normal 4-3-2-1. Tonight, they get back to their regular formation.
Everything will be going forward within that front three. Knox, Solano, and Cook have a really good understanding of the relationship between that front three. Cook might come to feed Solano, and Knox might be really aggressive at being vertical within their movement. Getting them in a rhythm on the ball, getting them confident will be really important for Josh McAllister, especially on the road.
Well, you mentioned Josh McAllister, the interim head coach for Spokane Zephyr. He brings over 15 years of experience across the MLS, NWSL, collegiate ranks, and he's been integral in developing and shaping both Zephyr and Velocity FC, and they just picked up their first win of the season versus Tampa Bay last weekend at home. They're looking to continue this streak here in Lexington. And then on the other side, you've got Masaki Hemi in his first season as the head coach for Lexington. Comes to them after a successful stint as the interim head coach for the Chicago Stars. So this should be a fun one tonight, Ricky. A handful of former teammates playing against each other tonight. For Lexington, it's Amina Ekich, Mackenzie Weiner, Alyssa Bourgeois, and Taylor Ulmer. It's their first time competing against their former club. As we get a look at our head official, Stephanie McFarland, will be dictating play here this evening. It's a beautiful 85 degrees in Lexington. A great night for soccer. Lexington in their green home kits. Spokane in their away white and gold uniforms. There's a look at Hope Heisey. Last week, she became the first goalkeeper to 10 clean sheets in the Super League. Leads the league currently with 15 saves. As we get set for kickoff here in Lexington, it's Spokane and Lexington SC, and we are underway. Ricky Lopez, Espin, Bridget Howard with you this evening. Spokane gets the ball first. We talk about those former players that are on this Lexington team currently, but spent the inaugural season with Spokane Zephyr. They made such an impact last season, so much so that quartet accounted for 17 of Spokane's 36 goals they scored last season, 9 of their 19 assists. They were a big part of the offense, and it was really big for the Spokane side to bring in some players to add to that spine that's been so good and stayed so consistent. And they finally were able to pick up their first win of the season last weekend against Tampa Bay. Addie McCain gets a head on it and pushes it up to Sarah Griffith. Griffith, the former Chicago Star, playing against her old teammate, Allie Cook. Bourgeois targets Ekich. Amina Ekich, the inaugural Gainbridge Super League Player of the Year. Last season had 10 goals, 6 assists. Going up against her former team here this evening.
2 minutes in, you just see how comfortable this Lexington side is on the ball. Really patient at building out, and when they go quick, good ball here.
Amina Ekich works around the defense. Griffith plays it right back to Ekich as she loses it. Good passing between that 1-2 punch up top, Allie Cook and Lena Solano. Reese Tappan, making her 6th start of the season. Switch it to the far side to Charlie Boone.
And really good understanding for Lexington in this situation of the field, trying to build out of the back. And once they bypass that initial line of pressure, notice how this field starts to open up and they go out the other way. It's been a really good start 3 minutes in for the home side.
Tati Fung keeps it, plays it out to Ekic. Ekic so good on the ball, gets around her defender. Ekic with her head up. Pulls it back, Ekic with the moves. Denied by Reese Tappan, and it'll be a goal kick for Spokane.
Fantastic 1v1 ability from Ekic, the ability to go with her left foot with her right foot, but this is really good defending from Tappan, not to leave her feet, stay with the player, and when she does take that long touch, that's when she steps in. Good start defensively for Spokane against a really tricky 1v1 player in Ekic.
Reese Tappan spent last season with Spokane, played in 6 games, totaling 244 minutes. She's very familiar with Amina Ekic, her former teammate. So a restart just inside Spokane's half of the pitch. So Allison Pantuso will take the free kick. She sends it into the box. Ekic on the end of it. Nowhere near the goal. That'll trickle out of bounds. Let's take a look at tonight's Toyota keys to the match. Ricky, what do you got for us?
For Lexington, you need to win 50-50 moments and trying to keep attacking opportunities alive. So winning your individual battles will be really important. And for Spokane, we've seen about 5 minutes in how good Ekic can be in 1v1 situations. So you have to limit her success, but also the supply into her. So positioning for Spokane, it needs to be really top class at understanding when to rotate over and when to provide coverage off one another.
Yeah, interim head coach Josh McAllister said to us in our conversation with him this week, he goes, we know how dangerous her left foot is. We have to put her on her right foot as much as possible. And most importantly, stay organized when defending her. And I think they've done a nice job in doing so far. Bourgeois clears it.
And it's just such a difficult thing, especially when you are a member of that back line for Spokane, because Ekic, she is left-footed, that likes to play on the right-hand side, so naturally she always wants to come centrally in terms of her combination skill, but also can shoot from distance. So understanding if you can force her towards the corner flag, that is when you can really find success defensively for the visiting side.
Kelsey Euler with the long throw-in. Allie Cook tried to get there, but it'll be a throw-in for Lexington. Sarah Griffith picks this ball up in the midfield. Nina Ekic again with the moves. This ball played across into the box, sent forward by Spokane. Quick turnovers for both sides. Nice crowd on hand here this afternoon. You can hear their chants in the background.
Been all one-way traffic in favor of Lexington to start this game. Notice all 10 outfield players in the attacking half right now, dominating the real estate battle. And it's been a really good start for Masaki Hemi and his side. Doing a good job at finding themselves into that final third, but just needs to be a little bit cleaner at testing the goalkeeper for Spokane.
Tati Fung sends it back all the way to Kat Asman. Spokane getting more organized defensively. As you can see, they just, for Lexington, not many options moving forward in the last few moments of possession.
You have to find that balance if you are Josh McAllister, especially coming on the road. Do you want to high press? Do you want to sit into a mid to low block? The last thing that you want to happen is to get spread apart and get exposed, especially in central locations. So if that front line does go, that back line and midfield line needs to stay compact and do everything in unison.
Allie Cook loses it. Who can settle it? Every time Lexington has looked for that long ball, Spokane has been right there. Heisey plays it forward. Allie Cook gets ahead on it. Tati Fung going up against her former teammate Felicia Knox. The pair spent their first season in the Super League with Fort Lauderdale United. An interesting story for Felicia Knox and her journey to Spokane. In our conversation with Josh McAllister, he said he just assumed at the beginning of this season that she was still at Fort Lauderdale, but he got a message from her agent saying, you know, she's available, willing to play, and he's like, she's free. Obviously, we're interested in her. She was one of the players that he earmarked coming out of Alabama, and ultimately he was like, we don't have a position for you right now, but she said, I'll come train with you. And he said, I really thought that showed a lot of humility on her part. So she came in and they saw the quality that she had within 2 days of her being on the pitch and training with the team. Amina Ekic taking it towards the back line. Can she create space? She plays it out to Addie McCain. Addie McCain off the crossbar. Sarah Griffith finishes it. Sarah Griffith picks up her first goal of the season.
Fantastic movement off of the ball here from Griffith as she continues her run. That allows McCain to be really aggressive with her movement. And as Griffith continues her run, does a really good job at keeping herself in that danger zone as it pops out. A little bit of disbelief for this Lexington side.
So in the 11th minute, it's Sarah Griffith getting Lexington on the board early. We'll take that back. That goal was called offside.
The yellow card has been issued to LSC's number 10, Amina Ekic, in the 12th minute.
So initially it looked like that was a goal to open things up for Lexington, but Sarah Griffith called offside.
Number 35, center of your screen. The call from Stephanie McFarland and her refereeing crew says that Griffith was about a yard ahead of the last defender for Spokane. Really difficult to tell on that angle. And that is why this goal does not stand as Griffith is called offside.
So a Lexington player hits the ground, but it'll be a Spokane free kick. Quite a bit of action here in the first 13 minutes. Sarah Griffith thought she had Lexington on the board early, but that goal called back as we sit tied at 0-0. Long ball into the box, out of reach of all the Spokane players. It'll be a goal kick for Kat Asman. LSC fans, visit lexsporting.com to get your latest Lexington SC news, merchandise, and ticketed discount offers. That's lexsporting.com.
A little bit of a glimpse of how explosive this Lexington side can be going forward, just with their mobility, their relationships, and the understanding of the patience of how they attack and how they want to attack. So if you are Spokane, the last thing that you can have happen is just to get caught out in a transitional moment versus a team as good as Lexington.
Spokane gets the first head on it. Allie Cook there to collect. Hannah Johnson gets a foot on it, but it'll be a corner kick for Spokane. Number 13, Sophie Braun. The Gonzaga alum set to take the corner. Braun sends it in, headed out by Lexington. Charlie Boone plays it out to Jaskinik, and Jaskinik sends it wide.
Really good opportunity here for Spokane. Jaskinik takes her good first touch out of her body and just pulls it a little bit wide, but you need to attack this ball. Notice where her shoulders and her hips go when she approaches it. They close a little bit too early, which gives her the ability to pull it wide. From about 17 yards out, you need to test the goalkeeper, but good action, especially coming off of a set piece for Spokane.
Taylor Ulmer made it pretty difficult for her to get a good angle there on that shot, her former teammate. Euler with the long throw in. For this Lexington side, they've only played 3 games this season. They have 5 goals, 2 of which came from Catherine Berry in their first win of the season against Brooklyn, their last home match. But defensively, they've been so sound thanks to Allison Pantuso, who they brought in from Brooklyn, Hannah Schartz. And then you've got Hannah Johnson, who's back after having to sit out with the red card. Masaki Hemi said she's a winger by trade, but she's at the wing back position, just such a competitor, great 1v1 defender, but she gets up and down the field, and that's what we were missing against DC last weekend.
Especially when you play with 2 outside backs that are really aggressive for Lexington. That gives the attacking players the ability to come a little bit more central because the outside backs provide the width with Bourgeois and Johnson. And once they do get to that final third, they provide real quality in terms of their service, but also can combine with those players centrally. So we've seen the fluidity, we've seen how good Lexington is and comfortable in possession.
Spokane heading this ball around, lands at the feet of Sarah Griffith. Allie Cook and Hannah Schartz, who will it be? That's gonna be a battle we'll circle all day long.
Really physical play with Schartz and Cook. As the ball goes over the sideline, you see Masaki Hemi extremely animated on his coaching area, as Cook does go into the book and picks up a yellow card. No need to engage in any physical activity after the ball goes out of bounds.
That's a yellow card for Allie Cook, brought to you by Hicks and Funson. Amina Ekic off to the races. Ekic takes it to the end line. Reese Tappan gets back, and it'll be a corner kick on the way for Lexington. Today's Lexington SC corner kicks are presented by Commonwealth Credit Union.
The really good tackle from Tappan. The cover about 30 yards within her defensive effort and time her challenge to perfection. She's had a really good game defensively through the first 19 minutes here.
Well, if you watched Amina Ekic at all last season, you know she is very capable of scoring off the corner. Amina Ekic plays it into the box. Played back out to Ekic. And again, Reese Tappan putting on a defensive show here on this near side. All corner kicks for Lexington presented by Commonwealth Credit Union. As Ekic gets set to take the set piece once more. Here we go, into the box. Lexington got a head on it. Addie McCain sends it back. Hannah Johnson weaving through traffic. Fung back out to Ekic. Ekic just loses it as Spokane watches it roll out of bounds.
Coming into this game, we've talked about the key for Josh McAllister and his side in terms of just limiting Ekic, and that's really good understanding from Boone, providing coverage off Tappan. So far, the rotations and the coverage has been spot on for the visiting side here.
Addie McCain finds space. Top of the box, McCain pushes it through to Barry. Barry just misses on the far post. Lexington with a flurry of opportunities in the last few moments.
Really good action here from McCain. I just want you to notice right side of your screen, the movement from Barry. She just peels out, and what that does, that opens up two passing lanes, whether it is to Barry or Griffith. A player that is full of confidence with 2 goals already on the season, needs to be hitting the target from that distance, but good action going forward for Lexington.
Tati Fung looking to play it right back to Ekic. She gets denied. Hannah Johnson works back and plays it to Asman. Cheers to local beer. West 6th Brewing is proud to be the official craft beer of Lexington Sporting Club. Find their locally crafted beers all around the state of Kentucky. From the flagship West 6th IPA to Sixer Light Lager, there's something for everyone. Head to west6.com to visit one of their dynamic tap rooms and learn more about Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC. Jaskinek plays it across to Knox. Felicia Knox made her first start with Spokane against Tampa Bay. Josh McAllister telling us she's just so smart and good on the ball. We saw that last season when she was with Fort Lauderdale. Haven't said her name too many times today, but one of the top players coming into the Super League last season. Was a 2022 All-American at Alabama, SEC Midfielder of the Year. Quite the resume for Felicia Knox.
Well, again, it's had a really difficult time just trying to find a rhythm going forward. Moments like this, you need to have a little bit of composure and to have the ball circulate from left to right.
Cam Tucker gets tripped up. Lexington recovers. Catherine Berry holds it up for support. Look how far back Catherine Berry has been pulled. In the first couple games of the season, we really saw her just holding strong up top. Tonight, we're seeing her work back more defensively.
Something that maybe Misaki Hemi has seen within the scouting report that when building out of the back for Lexington, you're actually going to draw out Spokane, giving Barry the ability to come underneath and be part of the build-out phase. But as a number 9, how can you be influential with and without the ball? Her movement, pulling center backs out of position, giving her teammates the freedom to go out and occupy spaces higher up the field.
Lena Solano on the far side. Plays a high arcer into the box, was looking for Knox, picked up by Kat Asman. Lexington Sporting Club is thrilled to offer Lil Kickers, a nationally acclaimed youth soccer program built for children ages 18 months to 9 years. Sessions start September 27th. Sign up at lexsporting.com/youth. Throw in on the way for Lexington. Felicia Knox wins it back, plays it up to Solano. Solano with a big touch runs into traffic. Picked right back up by Spokane. Tati Fung. Switches the field.
Back-to-back really aggressive steps from Pentuso, the center back for Lexington, doing a good job at keeping everything in front of her, but also being really aggressive at stepping in and clogging passing lanes.
Lexington was looking for Catherine Barry, but Sarah McCoy and Barry get tangled up. Charlie Boone, one of the center backs this evening for Spokane, was the defender of the year with Minnesota Aurora in the W League. Josh McAllister said her debut last week against Tampa was almost flawless. She's been a positive, surprising add to this Spokane side, who has added 13 players this summer. Barry turns and runs right into Jaskinek. Heisey with Akic oncoming. Bourgeois left her feet. Felicia Knox with a light intervention, but enough for Stephanie McFarland to blow her whistle. Hometown fans, why go far when the best stay is right here at home? Embassy Suites Lexington Green is your go-to spot for a weekend staycation, a night out, hosting meetings and events, or out-of-town friends. Local, loyal, and always game day ready. Free kick sent into the box. Hope Heisey collects.
Heisey's had a really good game, really in this game, in this match, with the ability to command her 6-yard box. Very comfortable with the ball at her feet, instilling some confidence for Spokane and Josh McAllister.
Hope Heisey leads the league in saves with 15 coming into this evening. Last weekend became the first goalkeeper in league history to record 10 clean sheets. Spent her college days at Arizona, 4-time Pac-12 goalkeeper of the week. Josh McAllister talked to us about the spine of this team centrally, and it all starts with Hope Heisey. Then you have Sarah McCoy on the back line, Emma Jaskinek, Sophie Braun, and then Allie Cook up top. That spine did not change for this Spokane team heading into this season. They simply went out and added pieces around, which I think has surprised a lot of people with how Spokane has played so far through the first 5 matches.
especially with the amount of changes that we've seen from the Spokane side. You need leadership not only on the field but off the field, like continuing to set the standard, continuing to set a culture and who they want to be on and off the ball, and their true their identity. Early in this game, in the season, 6 goals, 6 scored, 6 goals conceded already. And through 30 minutes here, have made life very difficult for Lexington side that has scored a lot of goals in 2025.
I think if you're a Spokane fan who watched last season, the Spokane side, they were on a tear in the spring season, nearly made the playoffs. And if you were to tell them Amina Ekic, Mackenzie Weiner, Alyssa Bourgeois, and Taylor Ulmer all leave the team, and they're sitting in the position that they are right now in 5th place with a great core returning, but you lose those 4 players, I think they'd be a bit surprised with the team that they have right now. But they went out and added some really great pieces, players with NWSL experience. As Hope Heisey comes out to grab that ball that Catherine Berry narrowly missed.
With the amount of players that went out the door for Spokane, it's also an opportunity for players to step up and really shoulder that opportunity and say, this is going to be my chance to take it. And as a player, all you can ask for is an opportunity, and that is what we've seen from Josh McAllister, giving players a chance to find their spot, not only on the roster, but in the starting 11, and they've done a good job early in the season.
Kat Asman out of her box.
Good ball there.
Hannah Johnson lays it off to Ulmer. Turns it over. Get the latest Lexington SC news right at your fingertips by downloading the official mobile app powered by Fan 360. Get access to exclusive content while shopping for season tickets and LSC gear, all in the Lexington SC Fan app. Felicia Knox looking for Allie Cook.
She needs to be careful. Cook already on a yellow card. But the 3rd foul that she's been involved with. First touch lets her down and trying to recover from her mistake, and it's that right arm, the extension away from her body, that gets her in trouble. So a big test in terms of the discipline for Cook for the remainder of this game.
Allie Cook was such a nice addition to this Spokane team last spring, played in 14 games, started 13 of them, and had 6 goals and 1 assist. We talk about the 1-2 punch now, that is Lena Solano and Allie Cook, as that ball is cleared away by Reese Tappan. But last year it was Amina Ekic and Allie Cook. Knox turns it right over to Tati Fung. And Knox will get served a yellow.
First touch just gets away from Knox here, but really aggressive step from Fung, and notice how she turns the corner right here. And the pullback, it's a professional foul from Knox. Always going to see yellow there. But Fung has had herself a really good game at winning those loose balls, winning those 50-50 moments in central locations, and really being the engine for Lexington.
Tati Fung only played 466 minutes last season, played in 21 games, made 4 starts, and already this season making her 4th start as this ball sent into the box, headed out by Spokane. Sarah McCoy will take a knee as she grabs that right leg. Sarah McCoy in some discomfort. Josh McAllister just singing her praises leading up to this match. She's played 2,970 consecutive regular season minutes across all seasons coming into tonight's match. To say she's a vital part of this back line would be a massive understatement for Spokane.
Just a true leader, someone that Spokane can continue to rely on in terms of her availability, consistent performances. Reason why she wears the captain's armband.
Today's Lexington SC corner kicks presented by Commonwealth Credit Union. Ekic steps up, serves it in, backside, punched out by Hope Heisey. Dangerous ball from Ekic.
Trying to score an Olympic goal here, Ekic with that left foot, trying to bend it into that top corner, but really good recovery and positioning from Heisey. Notice how there's no nonsense in terms of her decision as the goalkeeper to push it up and away and not give a rebound into that traffic in front of her goal mouth.
Ekic will move to the other side and get another crack at it. Another corner kick brought to you by Commonwealth Credit Union. Ekic with 2 assists to her name this season. Last year had 10 goals, 6 assists. Can she add to her resume here? Ekic into the box. Hope Heisey comes up to grab it. Select is the official matchball supplier of the Gainbridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Heisey looking for Allie Cook, but Hannah Schartz takes 2 hands to the back. Spokane gets a free kick. Spokane, no shots on target. Just 2 shots in the first half. Tati Fung geared up to send a long ball and gets tripped up.
Just having a really difficult time, this Spokane side, in terms of their attacking presence. You're looking at Braun Tucker, Jessica Nick to get on the ball a little bit more, slow the game down, connect their passes, get them confidence within the side for Spokane, because it's been all one-way traffic. Good opportunity here.
Nice last touch. Played up to Kelsey Euler, who was looking for Cook. Cook tracks it down. Good work. Allie Cook towards goal. Kat Asman gets a paw on it.
2 goals, 1 assist on the season already for Cook. Shows you a little bit of her quality and her strength to win her individual duel, but also how clean and technically sound she is. Trying to wrong foot Asman at her near post, and it forces a really good save from the goalkeeper of Lexington.
Second corner for Spokane. Sophie Braun will take it once again. Braun plays it in. That gets through everyone. Charlie Boone comes back to pick it up and sends it right into the arms of Kat Asman. Sarah Griffith holds up play, finds Fung. Bourgeois lays it off for Catherine Barry. Barry against Reese Tappan. Barry sends it out of bounds on the far side of the pitch.
Again, really good defensive effort for Tappan. It's about the 4th time that she's been isolated 1v1 and making life really difficult for every single attacking player of Lexington, not giving them the ability to pick up their head and find one of their teammates. So if you are Josh McAllister, you need to be really pleased with what you've seen defensively from your side through 38 minutes here on the road.
McAllister told us this week it's going to take a lot to walk away with a win on the road and pick up these 3 points. It's just going to take good old-fashioned work.
And we've seen that. We've seen this Spokane side not having a lot of the play, but yet making life really difficult. Just notice right now in your screen how many numbers are behind the ball, being really compact, and tapping yet again. 1v1 defending to perfection from the outside back of Spokane.
Tappan, I'm gonna deem her the MVP of this first half, because going up against a player like Amina Ekic, she has done a fantastic job in shutting her down. McCoy with 2 Lexington players coming. Felicia Knox threads it through to Jaskinik. Spokane on the move. Cam Tucker gets caught up. It was Hannah Johnson. You know, she was eager to get back on the field after missing the last match against DC. Now here comes Lexington. Griffith cuts it in. Bourgeois cutting it inside. Gridlock right now for Lexington. How can they break Spokane down? Amina Ekic will weave through traffic. Ekic finding space. Look at her go. Amina Ekic plays it across the box. Catherine Berry was there, but so was Hope Heisey.
Just so good. Ekic with the ball at her feet, the ability to skip by not 1, but about 3 Spokane defenders, and then put a really good service in. If you are Berry, if you can go with your head from this instant, just run, continue through the ball. As you try to go with your foot, you're lunging, unable to get enough power to really test Heisey.
Addie McCain loses the battle to Emma Jaskinik.
Good quality here from Ekic to put the ball in a dangerous area, but just notice the lack of power there from Berry. If you can continue your run and just use the momentum to head the ball to that far post, probably the better option. Again, a glimpse of how explosive Lexington can be going forward.
Just looked like that ball was fading fast. It wasn't at the height of Catherine Berry.
Area.
We know she's tall. Just kind of hit in that middle torso area.
Good ball.
Sarah Griffith on the end of it, but not before Cam Tucker sends it out of bounds. So another corner kick for Lexington, brought to you by Commonwealth Credit Union. Amina Ekic, no surprise, set to take the corner. 42nd minute from Lexington SC Stadium. Can they get on the board in the final moments of this first half? Ekic into the box. On the end of it was Schartz. But Addie McCain was offside.
Amount of pace behind this ball from Ekic just gives her teammates the ability to run onto it. McCain about half of a yard off the shoulder of the last defender for Spokane.
Surprising looking at the stats right now. Possession obviously in favor of Lexington, but not by as much as you would think. They're sitting at 55% right now, Spokane at 45. I feel like it's been mostly in favor of Lexington, which shows in the stats, but I almost feel like it should be 60, you know, it should be a little bit higher.
The eye test tells you more that Lexington has been a little bit more threatening. They've been in more
Griffith on the end of it, denied by McCoy.
More in possession, more creating opportunities. But the next step in that progression for Masaki Hemi is, yes, you're getting yourself into that final third, but you need to be a little bit more clinical and more ruthless to turn those opportunities into real goal-scoring chances to really test the opponent's backline and goalkeeper. 0-0, 43 minutes where Josh McAllister probably haven't seen as much of the ball as you would want, but yet, about to walk into halftime, not conceding, tied 0-0. You take it every single day of the week and try to nick a goal in transition.
Well, and it goes with what Mac told us in our conversation this week. He said we have to be good in the final actions, which I think we can both agree to this point. That's the next step for this Lexington team because they've had a number of opportunities in the final third. And he said, I expect us to have a majority of the ball, which they have had, but those dual moments that we even talked about at the beginning of this match will be big for them, those 50-50 moments. And I think so far, Lexington has done a nice job at winning those 50-50 balls. But again, it's just that final action. Can they find the back of the net? This ball bounces.
Just needs to be a little cleaner, a little bit quicker in making your decision when you are in around that 18-yard box, because we've seen Spokane do a really good job in terms of their box defending and winning their individual duels.
Nice defending by Bourgeois, but it was Solano who got the better of it. .45th minute now between Lexington and Spokane as we sit even at 0-0. Sarah Griffith thought she got Lexington on the board in the 11th minute, but it was called back offside. We'll have 1 minute of stoppage time here in this first half. But the home side, can they create something here in these final moments heading into the break? You can see there, 1 minute of stoppage time. It's official. Stephanie McFarland will issue a free kick to Lexington. Most likely the last opportunity here in the first half for either side. It's Lexington, Amina Ekic, the queen of set pieces. Ekic plays it into the box. Headed out by Sophie Braun.
Again, really good box defending for Spokane, and with the quality of serves from Ekic, she puts the ball into a dangerous area continuously. You're just asking for one of your teammates to have the willingness to try to get on the end of it. Big opportunity here right before halftime to take the lead.
Ekic incredibly busy, tasked with taking every single set piece for this Lexington side. Another corner kick brought to you by Commonwealth Credit Union. Ekic sends a high arcer, but it'll fade out of bounds, and that'll do it for the first half. 0-0 at the break between Lexington and Spokane. Ricky, your initial thoughts?
If you are Masaki Hemi through the run of play, probably the happier of the two managers, getting on the ball a little bit more, creating opportunities, getting yourself into that final third. But we continue to talk about it. For Lexington, you need more quality, the ability to compose yourself, find the right pass at the right time, and really put pressure on this back line for Josh McAllister and Spokane. For the visiting side, 0-0 at halftime. Wasn't your best half of soccer, but yet you still are alive. You need to get on the ball a little bit more centrally to dictating tempo and, more importantly, pulling the game away from Lexington.
So a good half from both sides. Lexington dominated in possession, 57% to 43%, and we are joined now by Amina Ekic, who was quite busy in that first half. Amina, You are the queen of set pieces. 6 corners, you were pretty busy. Talk to me about this first half. What were your initial thoughts? What does this group need to do heading into the second?
I think we're doing good. I think we're executing our game plan both offensively, defensively. We're creating chances, which isn't a problem for us, but we need to find ways to put them away and bury this game.
I mean, talk to me about the relationship between Barry and Griffith and you in that top 3. What does Masaki Hemi want from the attacking trio, and how good can you guys be in the second half here?
I would say our biggest strength is how fluid we are between the 3 of us and Addie McCain beneath us. We can fill those 4 positions fluidly in and out, and I think it's very hard to defend. As far as Kat goes, Kat holds the ball up pretty well. She wins those aerial balls, and me and Sarah Griffith are darting in behind, hopefully to get on the end of them.
Amina, I'm sure this is a fun one for you going up against your former club, many of your former teammates. Thank you so much for making the time. We'll see you in the second half.
Thank you.
Well, it was a fun first half in Lexington, but we sit tied at 0-0 as we get ready for the second half. We've got more for you coming up right after this. This is the Gainbridge Super League on Peacock.
Technical goalkeeping. Tampa Bay has done it! Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a love take a love for free.
Today we went to the beach and it was totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
We live with you, build with you, grow up with you, and dream with you. At Central Bank, we belong to the same communities you do. You're our neighbors, friends, and business partners. And through the relationships we build with you every day, we consistently serve you better. That's what highly personal banking is all about. We start with you.
This is where worry turns into relief. Where confusion turns into answers. This is where your family can turn to the experts for the big things and the little things. Extraordinary care is right here. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
Lexington is the Kentuckiest place in the world. Just look at it. It's by far the bluegrassiest, the bourbonist. See? The artsiest, and hands down, the horsiest. Oh, look, that one has a baby. I don't know why you would look anywhere else. Looking for the coolest, most Kentuckiest getaway? Look at Lexington.
Back in Lexington, we're scoreless at the break between Spokane and Lexington. Two teams very familiar with one another. Well, it's been an exciting week 5 so far. Let's take a look around the league. Hope Heisey, we've seen her very active in this match here this evening. She became the first goalkeeper in league history to record 10 clean sheets last weekend. Currently leads the league in saves right now with 15.
Trying to get to number 11 if she can continue in this next 45 minutes. We talked about Fort Lauderdale. Allie Rogers was the assistant last season. Now she's the head coach. Now you get a coach that is very comfortable with her players. You're going to get the best out of Fort Lauderdale. And for Maddie Mercado, scored in all 3 of Carolina's games this season. She's really good at understanding when to arrive into the 18-yard box, and she's a clinical finisher. Look for her to continue to be good in 2025.
Well, it's been a busy week 5 around the league. We saw a draw between DC and Brooklyn on Thursday night, and coming up next, it'll be a rematch from the semifinals. Tampa Bay and Dallas last season going at it here tonight at 7:30 Eastern.
Tampa, a team that is struggling. 3 losses already in 2025, and Dallas sitting at the top of the table. So that is going to be a really interesting match here tonight at 7:30.
Well, we'll have more coming up for you right after this. We sit tied, scoreless in Lexington. This is the Gamebridge Super League on Peacock. Don't go anywhere. Well, the fans are having a good time at Lexington SC Stadium. How about the giveaway tonight? Some beer glasses? No one's going to say no to that. Well, let's take a look back at the highlights from the first half. We sit scoreless at the break, but Lexington had quite a few opportunities in the first half.
Really good fluid movement going forward for Lexington as Griffith gets caught offside. But Ekich was at the thick of everything going forward for the home side. But as this ball continues to progress, Griffith about half of a yard to the shoulder of the last defender for Spokane. She gets called offside. Goal is disallowed as we go into the 33rd minute. Again, it was a lot of set pieces. It was a lot of attacking opportunities for Lexington, but not having the ability to really bypass Heisey. She's done a fantastic job at commanding her 6-yard box and a really confident save, denying Ekic.
Amina Ekic told us just before halftime that she felt like the group was really executing their game plan, but they have to be able to bury this game away. And it's not because they haven't had a number of opportunities, it's just that final action.
You need to be clinical in both boxes, and that is something that Lexington has struggled with within that first 45 minutes.
Second half coming your way right after this. Stick with us.
Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of Lexington SC. Get all your Lexington SC tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. Lexington Sporting Club Cambridge Super League team is back in action at home on Friday, September 26th for our hometown Heroes Appreciation Night. Kickoff against Dallas Trinity FC is set for 6 p.m. right here at Lexington SC Stadium. Don't miss a minute of the excitement. Bring the energy, wear your green, and help back the fans as we chase 3 points on home turf.
Former pro Ricky Lopez, Espin, Bridget Howard with you as we get set for the second half. The fans are having a great time. It's 85 degrees in Lexington, Kentucky. What a great night for soccer. We sit scoreless as we get ready for the second 45. Amina Ekic told us at the break she felt like they've been executing the game plan, but they have to bury this game away and finish their opportunities when they get them. For Spokane, what do you think that message was at the break for Josh McAllister and his side?
More mobility on the ball in central locations, because that is when we saw Lexington really dictate tempo. So if you are Tucker Braun specifically sitting a little bit deeper, if you can get on the ball, if you can slow the game down and take it away from Lexington, that is when you can start to find success, because that will give Cook the ability to be really aggressive and more expansive going forward. So winning that central location needs to be the top priority for Spokane in the second 45 minutes.
So we had a couple subs at the break. We'll get you those in just a few moments. As we wait for the whistle to start this second half. And there we go. Addie McCain gets us started as Hannah Shart sends it forward.
Let's go. We gotta be specific.
Lexington on the move. Sarah Griffith just outside the top of the 18. Sarah Griffith rips, denied. Griffith waiting for an outlet. She sends it back. So those subs for you, all coming for Spokane. Number 19, Tori Zierenberg. On for number 8, Lena Solano. Number 12, Arissa Mart, now on for Felicia Knox. And Haley Thomas making a switch on the back line. She steps on for Charlie Boone. Allie Cook threads this ball through, looking for Cam Tucker. Haley Thomas has only played in 1 game so far this season, totaling 18 minutes. Last season, she started in 25 of 26 games she played in. Here comes Sarah Griffith. Top of the box, she rips right to Hope Heisey.
Just see the wide parts of the field for Lexington, whether it is Ekic on the right-hand side, Griffith on this near side, always want to come century to get the ball on their preferred foot. And in which in doing that, that allows overloads for the outside backs to come around. So there's a lot of different ways that Lexington can attack their opponents in that back line.
To continue that conversation about Haley Thomas, she was such a key piece to the back line for Spokane last season, but with the number of players that they've brought in this offseason, she hasn't seen much time on the pitch. Last year had 2 goals, 2 assists. As she subs on for this second half. Sarah McCoy lofts it out of bounds. Alyssa Bourgeois, former Spokane player. Sarah Griffith holds it up. Johnson turns it over. Reese Tappan, been so good in the first 45. Hannah Schartz, too much on that play. Spokane moving the ball much quicker here in the second half. So it's the first time that these two teams are meeting in the regular season, but they actually played a preseason game against one another. Josh McAllister said they flew up to Spokane. Next year we'll fly down to Lexington, but they've got a good relationship, and they played each other early on in the preseason. As this ball just gets through, missing Addie McCain. That ball just gets past Amina Ekic. Allie Cook unable to contain, but those central midfielders doing the dirty work. Tori Zierenberg on the far side. Cook threads it through. Kat Asman off her line.
Just a luxury to have for this Spokane side with Allie Cook, the ability to bring in her teammates as she drops in deep. Notice how she receives the ball with her hips open, allowing the play to develop, but also the timing here needs to be a little bit better, but good run off of the shoulder from Mark coming around that weak side. If you can get Cook in between lines on the half turn, now you can really find success for Spokane going forward and really testing the shape of Lexington.
I don't know if you noticed that little fist bump at the end between Kat Asman and Arissa Mart, both players on loan from Orlando Pride to Lexington and Spokane. So 2 players familiar with each other. Addie McCain using all parts of her body to bring that ball down. Addie McCain going after the ball, but trips up Jaskinek, so it'll be a restart for Spokane. Our head official tonight, Stephanie McFarland, has been quite busy. So if you're just joining us, the first half was all Lexington. Sarah Griffith found the back of the net, but it was called back offside in the 11th minute. And other than that, Spokane only had a few shots on target, but not much offense from them. As we sit scoreless here in the 53rd minute at Lexington SC Stadium. Spokane on the move. Get it back to Allie Cook. Allie Cook towards goal and just misses. A great look from Allie Cook. How about that build up for Spokane?
Starting to find some real success, Allie Cook. Just her ability to pick up spaces in between lines, noticing as this back line of Lexington is retreating, where's the space? About 20 to 25 yards out. Great first touch. Sends her into the attacking 18-yard box and allows her just to run onto it. And now you're just needing a little bit more composure to open up your hips and just try to pass it into that far post. Tries to go for power, but give credit to this back line for Lexington coming across and doing just enough.
Punched out by Asman. Dangerous ball in from the set piece. On the ground, denied by Asman. Spokane with some of their best looks on goal so far tonight. Addie McCain shoots it forward, looking for Sarah Griffith. She gets there. It's in a battle with Reese Tappan. And Tappan toe pokes it out. Lexington Sporting Club is thrilled to offer Lil Kickers, a nationally acclaimed youth soccer program built for children ages 18 months to 9 years. Sessions start September 27th. Sign up at lexsporting.com/youth. Well, Hannah Schartz, she's got a long throw in. Here it comes. No Lexington players on the end of it as Spokane sends it forward.
All 11 players right now for Spokane behind the ball. So if you are Lexington, the tempo becomes that much more important. 1-2 touch, ball circulation, movement to pull out center backs out of position to open up space for your teammates. Need to be a little bit more unpredictable if you are the home side at trying to break through this mid to low block.
Lexington with the quick passing. Hannah Johnson opts to switch the field.
So the spacing needs to be a little bit better, making the field as wide as you possibly can. And doing that, now you start to open up gaps centrally.
Ricky, how challenging is it for the players on that far side? And Bourgeois and Addie McCain, they're playing in the direct sunlight. And then you see on this near side of the pitch, it's in the shade. We'll hold that thought. Sarah Griffith at the top of the 18.
Really difficult, especially when a ball's coming towards you. Good strike.
What about that strike just over the crossbar? Hannah Johnson decides to take a rip herself.
Talked about the quality from her left back position. Johnson really aggressive as there is no pressure on the ball. Why not call your own number? Technique is really good, really well done here. Shoulders over it, really testing the goal for Spokane, and just pulls it up and over.
Mac told us she's a winger by trade. She's no stranger to finding the back of the net. Such a competitor back on the pitch after sitting out last match due to a red card. Spokane fires it around the back line, plays it forward. Lexington so organized in all phases. Lexington team in the offseason went out and handpicked some of the best players across the Gainbridge Super League. After not having the start to the inaugural season that they wanted, and it's taken some time for them to gel, but this is a very promising side.
You see the foundation is there for Lexington, understanding who they want to be on and against the ball. Against the ball, really compact, really difficult to break through. And on the ball, they want to be creative. Masaki instilling some confidence and allowing his attacking players to try to go out and express themselves. That is something that Ekic mentioned to us in our interview as well, saying our front three understand the movements off one another, as Barry's a little bit more of that focal point, allowing the other players to make those moves.
Ekic pulled centrally, targeting Sarah Griffith, but Hope Heisey comes out to pick it up.
Just notice how many numbers Lexington does commit in the press. So if you are Spokane, there is real estate. If you can bypass that first and second line, that is when you need a pocket presence underneath Cook, because there's about a 15 to 20 yard gap that you can really manipulate right here, and then you find success going forward. But the problem is you're unable to find that area that you can really occupy in.
Sophie Braun. Send it right back out to Kelsey Euler. Euler into the box. Cleared out by Ulmer. Jaskinek. Kelsey Euler on the far side for Spokane has been involved in a couple of these attacking moments for Spokane. She's an interesting one. She played at Gonzaga, then transferred to Arkansas, and she was an incredible left back, according to Josh McAllister, but they changed her to center back at Arkansas. So the first couple games of the season here with Spokane, they really had to break her out of that center back mentality. And now you're seeing her pushed more out wide. And she created the first goal versus Tampa. He thought that was her best game of the season to this point. But you can tell they're trying to get her back into that outside mentality because it is such a switch after being a center back.
Have a little bit more freedom. When to join the attack, but also when to provide the coverage and that width in possession. As a center back, if you do step off of your line, there's going to be a massive gap going on the way. So you have that discipline that you need to shift a little bit more. But when you have that right amount of balance of understanding that you can push up, but you also need to draw back and provide that coverage, that is when you get a complete fullback, and that's when we start to see Euler take that next step in her progression.
So just as we're talking about Kelsey Euler, she will sub out and it'll be Shay Collins' turn. Shay Collins has played a total of 41 minutes this season. She comes on in the 62nd minute as we still remain scoreless in Lexington. West 6th Brewing is a proud partner of the Lexington Sporting Club with dynamic taproom locations all throughout the state of Kentucky. You can enjoy West 6th locally crafted beers for all your adventures. Enjoy a Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC, at all home games or at your favorite retailers around Lexington. Long throw in from Hannah Schartz. Ricky, in all phases of the game, I think a long throw-in goes like the most unrecognized. Sarah Griffith at the top of the box. Lexington will reset. Taylor Ulmer pushes it to McCain. Johnson to the far side.
Especially recently, we've seen an uptick in the long throw-ins and how dangerous they can be.
We apologize for the technical difficulties, but we are back at Lexington SC Stadium. Another set piece on the way. Amina Ekic ready to take this corner kick. Ekic serves it in, but it never came in bounds, so a goal kick on the way for Spokane. Former pro Ricky Lopez Espin, Bridget Howard with you on the call this evening. 67th minute now. We still sit scoreless, neither team able to break through. Haley Thomas frustrated after missing that ball. Well, Ricky, we were talking about the long throw-ins and how we've started to see them integrated more. You're about to drop some knowledge on us.
Now you're putting the pressure on. But especially recently, we've seen how influential a long throw can be, because coaches are trying to understand it's a set piece. And if you have the ability to cause a little bit of chaos in the attacking box, now you really apply pressure. And there's so many times, it's not the initial ball in that causes the issues, it's a second wave. So a lot of times players tune off mentally, unable to lose, they lose their individual markers. Good pickup here.
Ekic at the top of the 18, lays it off to McCain, out to Barry. Barry around the defense, backside, just misses on the back post.
Really good action here from Lexington. It starts with centrally, but also the aggressiveness from Barry. This touch right here creates a little bit of separation. And now the responsibilities for that second and third attacking player to crash across that near post, but also that second post. If someone has the ability to get on their bike, that is a 1-0 lead in favor of Lexington, but good action, good aggressive mentality from Barry and that last attacking chance.
Pantuso wins it back. Tati Fung got the ankles of Sophie Braun. Restart coming for Spokane. Sophie Braun taking her time, adjusting her boot. Sarah McCoy opts for the short ball. And they'll play it all the way back to Hope Heisey. Reese Tappan shoots it up to Allie Cook on the run. She hits the deck.
But it's been better recognition for Spokane, understanding that once they do play out of the back, that draws out that front four for Lexington and opens up space in between lines, playing a little bit more direct into Allie Cook, and she's done a fantastic job at occupying the two center backs and just gaining some real estate for her side.
Thomas serves it in, right to Kat Asman. When you look at this back line for Lexington, it's a completely new group than what we saw last season. And the center backs for this team, Allison Pantuso came over from Brooklyn. She's experienced in the league, but Hannah Schartz has been surprising in her first season in the Gainbridge Super League. She started in every match so far. Played college at Colorado, UCLA, 3-year team captain at CU. She's adjusted nicely to this league.
Especially when you have two new center backs, that is the foundation for your side. So understanding those two players and getting them very comfortable with the tendencies of one another, it has to be top priority for a head coach like Masaki Hemi, and they've done a really good job at understanding if one does get drawn out of position, the other one drops off and provides coverage, and a big reason why they've only conceded 3 times this season.
Schartz on the kick, just out of reach for Ekic. Well, we talk about all these new players for Lexington, but in our conversations with Masaki Hemi, he made sure to point out the returning players that have stood out. two of which were Shea Moyer and Sarah Cox. Shea Moyer was on the team last year and just was such a leader, took on a leadership role again this year, has such potential, is one of the best midfielders in the league according to Mac, and she hasn't seen as many minutes as she did last year, but that's just simply because of the talent that they brought in. But then you look at a player like Sarah Cox, one of the backup goalkeepers, and she's just such a presence that uplifts everyone and pushes the standards. And I don't think it can go unnoticed how important it is for those types of players to stick around when you're rebuilding a team like this Lexington side is this year.
When you have just so much turnover, you're looking for players not only on the field, but within the locker room and on the training ground to continue to set a culture, to continue to push the competition, because as the competition grows, it only provides more quality once game day comes around the corner. So players that understand what it means to be a player for Spokane, for Lexington, really embody and really continue to create that identity that we've seen from both of these coaches trying to do in 2025.
So important to have those types of players that just add value to the organization. They may not get the minutes, but they push the standards. And that is Shea Moyer and Sarah Cox for Lexington. Spokane turns it over. Addie McCain spits it out to Griffith. Barry's there. Can't get through the Spokane defense. Tati Fung out to Griffith. Good defending from Tori Zierenberg.
Good ball.
Griffith sets it in. Addie McCain works back to win possession. Lexington, they've been everywhere creating these second opportunities as Addie McCain shoots it into the box. Headed back by Bourgeois. Griffith turns.
Just so aggressive, this Lexington side, not only to win the initial ball, but the second wave as well. That is your two outside backs, about 30 to 35 yards away from your attacking goal, just trying to squeeze this game and force turnovers higher up the field.
I think Alyssa Bourgeois is one of the most underrated defenders in the entire Gamebridge Super League as Griffith wins it back, looking for McCain. Fung collects. Johnson, top of the 18. Ekich. Spokane standing tall defensively as Lexington continues to knock on the door here in the 75th minute. Bourgeois, she's just so solid defensively, but what she adds to the attack is so important for this Lexington side. When you know you're gonna have players like Amina Ekich drawing attention, that opens up space outside for Bourgeois. And we've seen her capitalize in those spaces.
Just so many relationships starting to form, and you see what Masaki Hemi's trying to implement here in all facets of the game for Lexington. We've talked about Johnson and Bourgeois pushing higher, and then you have the two wingers coming centrally. Most importantly, it's been Ulmer. She's dropping in as that single pivot, allowing Fung and McCain to be more aggressive at filling in the gaps higher underneath.
Sarah Griffith. So many touches on the ball here this afternoon. Looks like it deflects off her in the end, so a goal kick for Spokane.
Substitution for Spokane Zephyr FC in the 76th minute.
So a substitution now for Spokane. They've had plenty here in this second half. It's Madeline Desiano on for Cam Tucker. Desiano brings a load of experience, won a national championship with UCLA in 2022. Lexington SC fans, your Gamebridge Super League team will be back at home this Friday, September 26th at 6 p.m. as they take on Dallas Trinity FC at our Hometown Heroes Appreciation Night presented by Central Bank. Be sure to purchase your tickets now at lexsporting.com/tickets. Zierenberg pushing it up the pitch. She works around Griffith. Into the box it goes, right in the arms of Asman. Asman has allowed only 3 goals this season, 7 saves coming into this match. She's been rock solid for Lexington. So a substitution now for Lexington. The home side will get their first look at Hannah White here this evening as she comes on for Sarah Griffith. I've seen a number of Georgia alumni making their mark in the Gamebridge Super League this season, Hannah White being one of them. She joined Lexington last spring, played in 14 games, started in 12 of those, had 2 goals to her name. This season, she's been used primarily as a sub, totaling 52 minutes.
Really big opportunity for the remainder 13 plus here for White. As a sub, your top priority to come into a game like this is to provide something that it was lacking in terms of the energy, quality in that final third. She's going to play on the right-hand side, which will push Ekic centrally. Understanding between Ekic and Barry can be really important and influential, trying to open the goal scoring here at home.
Sophie Braun set to take the free kick just inside Lexington's half the pitch. Braun doesn't make it into the box. Played back in. Desiano, the top of the 18, but Tati Fung is there to recover. The Gamebridge Super League season is officially underway. Visit GamebridgeSuperLeague.com for all the latest information, analysis, and insight into all things Gamebridge Super League. '80th minute. We still sit scoreless between Spokane and Lexington. Possession still heavily in favor of Lexington, sitting at nearly 55% to 45%, similar to how we wrapped up the first half. Ekic caught up by Thomas. I asked Josh McAllister, I said, is there a little bit of a chip on the shoulder for this Spokane team going up against 4 former players? He said, you know, everything that happened was amicable with the departing players. Nobody left on bad terms. Everyone is still great friends, so it's more of a, I just want to beat my friend. Competing against someone you care about holds a little extra weight. I know we've both been there playing against friends.
A little bit of extra motivation.
Hannah White bodied to the ground. That ball cleared out by Spokane. Sent right back in. Hope Heisey will take her time to come up.
Another really good shot from Bourgeois here from distance. Hits it well as the ball dips in the end. A comfortable save for Heisey. been all one-way traffic in favor of Lexington, and it's exactly what we've talked about within that first 45 minutes, doing all the hard work, getting themselves into that final third, but just not having that last bit of quality to break through this back line of Spokane.
Allie was looking to send it forward to Mart.
Just talked about the relationship between Pantuso and Schartz there. Pantuso gets drawn out. That is when Schartz needs to provide coverage and rotation. Really good understanding between the two center backs in that last defensive action.
Allie Cook had some space, but ran into traffic. Taylor Ulmer, she's been everywhere in the midfield for this Lexington side, picking up those second balls, making sure possession stays with the girls in green.
Ulmer doesn't get the recognition she deserves. Ulmer, as that single pivot, your responsibility is to cover so much ground.
So a substitution for Lexington. Shay Moyer in for Catherine Berry, and we just talked about her extensively, how she's one of those players that just adds value to the organization. May not get as many minutes as she did last season, but she comes onto the pitch here in the 83rd minute. Hannah Schartz. The work from Bourgeois. She takes to the ground.
Going to change the way that Lexington looks going forward with the insertion of Moyer, as Berry, more of a physical number 9, wants the ball to her feet, likes to occupy the two center backs. Now you get a little bit more of a mobile attacking player with Moyer, the ability to slash behind the opponent's back line. So communication and passing players off for the remainder of this game for Spokane will be the top priority for Josh McAllister if they want to continue to have this clean sheet.
Shay Moyer getting her first touches, plays the ball up to Ekic, but it'll roll out of bounds for a Spokane throw in on the near sideline, deep in their half. Schartz can't keep it in. With the amount of interleague transfers this offseason in the Gainbridge Super League, there's obviously some crossover, former teammates playing one another. But Allie Cook for Spokane, she actually played for Masaki Hemi 12 months in Chicago. They spent together, and he had nothing but great things to say about Allie Cook. Just her quick release. She's so powerful, a great aerial player, as we've seen here this evening. And he said she just works tirelessly, and I think that's something that we can all appreciate about Allie Cook, that we see game in and game out. Hannah White works back defensively. Arissa Mart lays it off, gets it right back. Mart right back, and ooh, that was a great look for Spokane. Tori Zierenberg on the end of it.
Really good action for the Spokane side. The combination, the movement off of the ball, the understanding, and most importantly, it's the mentality to put pressure on this Lexington back line. That is a good little finish. Mart trying to find that near post. An athletic save from Masman coming across to deny.
We talk about Amina Ekic being busy tonight on set pieces. Equally is Sophie Braun. She gets ready for yet another corner kick for Spokane. High arcer, center of the box. Allie Cook with the head on it. Haley Thomas watched it roll out of bounds. I think she thought Lexington got a head on it. They did not, so goal kick coming for Lexington.
Good ball. And really good action defensively for McCoy and Thomas. Every single time a ball's been played centrally, they've been really aggressive at just staying like for like with their individual marker. When you have two center backs that are just so front foot, meaning that they're going to step in and they're going to be player for player, makes life very difficult to break through, especially through central locations. So for Lexington, you have to find ways to decoy them out of position and try to play wide to create overloads.
Spokane, they get it up to Allie Cook, turned right over. Sharts plays it up to Ekic.
Spokane has done a really good job in this second half, just limiting Ekic and her impact on the game. Through that first 45 minutes, she was the best player for Lexington, continuing to cause issues. In the second half, very quiet for Ekic.
'89th minute at Lexington SC Stadium. Can someone break through in the final minutes? Haley Thomas with space. She gets it out to Madeline Desiano. Desiano up to Mart. Cleared out by Pantuso. Late substitution for Lexington. Hannah Richardson, a returning player for this Lexington side, will step on for Tati Fung, who's had a nice day herself.
Really good shift for Fung. Covered a lot of ground, connected the game, continuing to have it moving. Richardson, her relationship between McCain as those dual 10s, trying to find something going forward for Lexington.
Hannah Richardson gets possession for Lexington. Turned right back over to Spokane. Allie Cook out to Collins. Bourgeois to save the day. Bourgeois finds an outlet in Sharts. We'll have a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time here in the second half. A little bit of extra soccer to see if someone can break the scoreless drought. Haley Thomas throwing it in on the near sideline. And that hits Ekic right in the stomach. I think we've all been there. We know what that one feels like, and it's not great. Ekic just coming in hot there. Haley Thomas hit her right in the upper torso. 92nd minute. Spokane with the throw in, and they'll get another one. Well, if the score holds, Lexington will continue this unbeaten streak to start the season. It'll be 3 draws and a win if the score holds. And for Spokane, they'll go undefeated in their last 2. McCain lays it off for Richardson. Jaskinek was looking for Allie Cook.
Worked extremely hard. Allie Cook has the focal point for Spokane, especially on the road. A player that wants the ball to feet, but has shown that she does have the pace to spin and stretch the game. Talked about the work rate never in question. A true leader just through example for Josh McAllister and his side. As a number 9, you always want to try to impact the game on and off the ball. On the ball, you see her quality, the ability to go 1v1, can combine, but off the ball, ability to be selfless with her movement. Luxury to have for this Spokane side.
Lexington with the long ball forward. Last few moments here in this one. Bourgeois into the box, headed out by Thomas. Ekich works around her defender, looking for space. Ekich gets the favorable deflection. A corner kick coming, presented by Commonwealth Credit Union. Can Lexington create some late minute magic? It's all in the hands of Amina Ekich, who is set to take her 7th corner kick of the match. Ekich plays it in, and Hope Heisey doing what she does best. And that'll do it from Lexington. We end in a scoreless draw between Lexington and Spokane. Ricky, your final thoughts.
Josh McAllister, the happier of the 2 managers just in terms of the result. To come here on the road against a Lexington side that dictated tempo, that created more opportunities. He has to be really pleased with his defensive efforts from his side. But for Lexington and Masaki Hemi, the next step in that progression is, okay, now you need to have that killer mentality. You need to be a little bit more ruthless at sticking the ball in the back of the net and putting games to bed.
Well, we've got more coming up for you right after the break. Lexington continues their unbeaten streak. Spokane picks up a solid point on the road. We'll be back right after this as we end scoreless from Lexington. We welcome you back to Lexington SC Stadium. Full-time score 0-0 between Lexington and Spokane Zephyr. But it wasn't without a lot of opportunities. Alyssa Bourgeois was a part of quite a few of them. Alyssa, thanks for joining us. My first question for you, your first meeting going up against your former club, what was it like to go against your former teammates? We saw a lot of hugs and smiles after this one.
Yeah, honestly, it was really weird. After the game, I was just talking to a couple of them. It's hard to not cheer for them. You know, I want them to do well, but I'm really happy here at Lexington. I wish we got the result, but I'm happy to see my friends doing well too.
Alyssa, we just saw a stat with how comfortable you are with the ball at your feet, the ability to create. Talk about how important it is to be an outside back for Masaki Hemi in Lexington and what it entails to be on both sides of the ball and have that quality.
Yeah, thank you. A lot of fitness. I would say he definitely tests me in that regard. I have to make sure that my 90-minute fitness is always up. I would say I give a lot of credit to my teammates. Being able to know that I have them kind of at all times. Tati Fong is another one. I talk to her a lot during the game and how I can find her in certain pockets. I know that I always have her support. I know I always have Ali Pantuso, Kat Berry checking in, and Amina running in behind. They kind of just give me the confidence to do what I want to do and what I feel is right. So all credit to them.
Alyssa, this group is now unbeaten in your first 4 matches of the season. What's the next step for this group to just continue this hot streak you're on?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm stoked to be unbeaten. I think that's huge. I think even bigger is to be able to get the shutouts. I think that's really important. It's something that we really stress. I think next steps are obviously to continue finishing on goal, not for lack of chances being created. I think we just need to be a little bit more clinical, but we know that, and we definitely have the talent. So I think going forward, we'll get that, and hopefully we'll get back in the win column.
Well, Alyssa, thank you so much for making the time. We'll let you get to that huddle.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
That's Alyssa Bourgeois, and what an addition she has been to this Lexington side this season. But let's look back at the highlights from this one. Lexington thought they got on the board early, but this goal called back.
Really tight call, as Griffith is about half of a yard off of the shoulder of the last Spokane defender. Thinks she has the goal, thinks she opens up the goal scoring ability here for Lexington, but looks to her sideline, gets the flag waved off. And then going back the other way in that second half, Alyssa Cook, she was really, really active at getting on the ball, dictating tempo, trying to get on the end of service. This is a good action for Spokane, trying to test the shape of the back line, but we saw 2 goalkeepers do a really good job at commanding their 6-yard box, but also stepping up and their timing and the ability to read the game.
Yeah, Hope Heisey picks up her 11th career clean sheet. And on the other side, Kat Asman now leads the league with 3 straight clean sheets.
Need a little bit more movement here if you are Lexington, because Barry does a good job at creating a little bit of separation. No secondary run at that far post. And we end the game 0-0. We split the points.
Yeah, no surprise here in terms of possession. Masaki Hemi knew that they were probably going to lead this game with possession 55% to 45%. But is there anything that sticks out to you here in full-time stats?
You need possession with a purpose if you are Lexington. Now you can get on the ball. You need to turn those possession opportunities into real goal-scoring opportunities and threatening the opponent's goal line. That's going to be the next step in the progression for Lexington. And for Spokane, you come into a hostile environment and do a really good job defensively. You can grow from that.
Well, week 5 continues on, but that's a wrap from Lexington. The fans had a fun one here tonight. Lexington continues their unbeaten streak. Spokane picks up a solid point on the road. From our producer, Maria Ringo, my partner, Ricky Lopez Espin, I'm Bridget Howard. We end in a scoreless draw from Lexington.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.